welcome to From the Goat Up. I'm Karen Minsky. I'm so excited to be joined by Megan Skeath, founder of Mama Coco. She is a fellow entrepreneur who really has had a great, interesting journey into her company and leadership, and I'm so excited to talk to her about it. Join me. Welcome to From the Goat Up, where we talk about ambition, motherhood, business, and what it really takes to earn your seat at the table. Megan Skeath is the founder of Mama Coco, a fast-growing babywear brand known for its innovative, fastener-free essentials designed to make newborn care gentler, simpler, and less stressful for parents. Rooted in her own early experiences of motherhood, Megan built Mama Coco from the ground up as both a creative outlet and the solution to the everyday challenges faced by new parents. Hi, Megan. Thank you so much for joining the podcast. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I've been doing a lot of reading about you and your journey. And the interesting thing that I read about you is that you had made actually a comment that your brand was not built in a boardroom, but it was built, as you being a mom. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, it came about really organically. Just early motherhood is raw, it's transformative. You're learning everything about your baby and rediscovering yourself even. Very little sleep, kind of in that constant cycle of nurse, change, diaper, sleep, repeat. And the idea for the brand and our essentials really came from just real everyday moments, caring for my newborn and noticing what was missing, what wasn't working. The zippers were too cold, the snaps were missing, the Velcro was too scratchy and loud. I needed a flashlight in the middle of the night. The list goes on. But the product design was making things difficult when they're basics. They should be helping and making things easier. So since those frustrations kept repeating, I finally just had that realization, like, why is this so complicated? There needs to be a better way. So I realized I needed to create it. And Mama Coco is really just born from that instinct, that drive to make something simpler, functional, and genuinely supportive for those early days.
I think you're so courageous for not only motherhood, right? That's huge, but then deciding to build a brand on top of that. I mean, what gave you the courage to do that?
Oh my gosh. I, I think it's just that drive um, to create something that would help me, knowing that that would help other moms as well, or at least hoping it would. Um, it's a crazy time becoming a mom, a first time mom, especially. So definitely there is some naive optimism in starting a company and designing a product for sure. But I think it's just that need was kind of like the clarity and the drive.
Did you have, that in your background? Are you like, did you come from a background where you knew how to build a business or you even know how to run a business that gave you that confidence?
Definitely not. Nope. I did not have any experience in running a business. Um, or even in fashion or manufacturing. Definitely kind of going into all of that blind. Um, just the instinct as a mom, just needing something better, needing a better solution to help make these repetitive everyday moments and tasks seamless and fuss free.
It's just so valuable, like what you're saying, because I feel like that's probably your biggest motivator, right? Because that's what the need of, like, this is not out there. And so you created something. That's amazing. So you worked through, I'm assuming, a lot of nap times. You did emails in between. How did you find time to manage it all? And like, where did you get the strength to do that every day?
Messy for sure, odd hours. It was not glamorous, very scrappy. Um, yeah, there's definitely no clean separation between mom life, founder life, especially in those early days. I mean, I had my newborn with me as I was ideating and sourcing emails during nap time, research after bedtime, sourcing fabric with my baby in the stroller, just kind of winging it and just had that drive um, just to create a solution for myself. And once I had that prototype, then it was like, okay, like I got to do something about this.
That is amazing. So listen, was there a lowest moment or a question time where you were like, okay, I don't know if I should have done this. Like this is too hard or this is too much. Did that ever happen?
I mean, yes, absolutely. I mean, I feel every founder has those moments where you're just so overwhelmed, especially when, things aren't maybe aligning in the business and at home, like flu season. There's always, a few weeks where things are just crazy all over the place. And I think in those moments, just remembering the why, those early motherhood moments that inspired me to make the product in the first place. And hearing from moms also, just the product reviews, hearing from moms that have love the product, that share photos of baby in their swaddle or their onesie, and are just overjoyed that this solution manifested in their Instagram feed one day and was, the answer they needed. So that is definitely, that drives me.
I'd love to have that connection with moms out there and just fellow people that are really benefiting from everything that you're doing. So, talk to me a little bit about like when did this no longer feel like survival and that you knew you had something that was really meaningful and really needed and like how you knew in your gut that you did the right thing?
I guess maybe when I got the prototype, right? The first kind of functional iteration that I could test on babies. I mean, that was exciting. There's relief. Um, and then also like some responsibility there. Like, okay, like this is the solution I dreamt up and it's here. It's working. Like now I owe it to, all the other moms to, do something about it and bring it to the masses.
I mean, you were like what, a team of one? You did everything by yourself. How big is your team now?
One, me, myself, and I. Yes, I outsource obviously a lot. I mean, I wouldn't be able to be here if I didn't, but I do not have a team of employees. I have, an ad agency, I have manufacturing, I have fulfillment, and, the list goes on, but no employees. I work from home.
I literally am so admire like I admire you so much because it is so hard to do that every day and it's everything is sitting on your shoulders and so that is just phenomenal. It's so phenomenal. So when you saw the first prototype, I mean, I know you got fabric and you saw samples and whatnot, but it actually got manufactured and you saw it being used. Like, describe that feeling to me, just because I obviously have had those feelings with my brand. So I always love to hear that from fellow entrepreneurs, how that felt to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was definitely emotional, validating that, like, okay, like I said I needed this, I thought I could do it, wasn't sure. There's definitely pushback along the way when you're creating something new, and with no experience in production or design. Um, but yeah, validating, excitement, and yeah, like hinted at before, responsibility. Like, okay, like this is it. I gotta do
Would
something about it.
would you be able to like identify like one specific time or decision that you made that you could say that's probably when I knew this was going to actually be something amazing and great because of like either this moment or this time or this decision that you made?
Mm. Um, I think probably when I got my first international order from a customer organically, through paid advertising or organic search. I'm not sure how it came through, but that was probably the most validating, exciting.
What, like between feeling exhausted and overwhelmed, because I'm sure that you feel that different times, what would you say is your proudest moment? I mean, obviously, you've done a lot, so you should be obvious, very, very proud of a lot of things that you've accomplished. But for yourself, what would you say that you're pretty proud of yourself for?
Um, Gosh, maybe sticking it through to this point, starting the brand to begin with no experience. I mean, it was an uphill climb. Um, it's been a ride for sure. And yeah, just proving to myself that I could do it and that um, I'm continue to grow this business and this brand and expand these essentials and reach more moms as a team of one. And really, everything I do is for my kids. So just showing them that I can do it and I can stick it out even on the hard days during flu season.
You and I share the same. So with my boys as well, I always say like I do this because I want to show them that everything is possible and that you don't let anything knock you down. So I think you're a really great example of that as well, which is definitely something to be admired. It's so hard to stay simple and grounded in the world that's so complex. How do you do that for yourself every day?
I think just focusing on what matters. I mean, there's so many moving pieces to the business. I mean, any business. I think if I just have to focus on what needs to be tackled that day and focusing on the core values of the brand. I mean, really, one of the core values of the brands is simplicity. It's making these basic essentials easier than they have been, and cutting out the fuss. So just remembering that. And for new parents, simplicity really isn't a luxury, like it's a necessity. They need that peace of mind in such a, chaotic stage of life.
My gosh, I feel like it's probably the most challenging, right? I remember as a mom, no matter what I was doing in my life and how successful I was, that swaddle was just beating me up because I didn't have you and I didn't have your product. So I was like, what am I doing? How am I doing this? And so I'm sure that you've brought a lot of, calmness to families around the world. Um, did anybody ever, or did you ever feel like you were underestimated by anybody or anything?
I think, yeah, I mean, of course, especially at the beginning, right? Going into, I want to create this swaddle and this bodysuit, and there's no zippers and there's no snaps and no Velcro. I mean, of course, I got pushback from manufacturers like, what are you talking about? Like, you need to do it this way, and there's a reason it's been this way. And so, yeah, I think coming with a new mom with no background, you definitely had to have a backbone and stick up for my beliefs and stand firm. And just remember that, you know, this idea is rooted in lived experience and staying true to myself.
Do you feel, I look at my life and I always say that my husband is my support system and him and I have almost like an agreement in place. I have to do this big thing while he helps me with the kids and the house and stuff like that. Do you have somebody at home that supports you while you're on this adventure and on this journey?
And yes, my husband is my number one supporter for sure. If he
That's
could be
wonderful.
here, like in the corner listening, he would, but he would be giving me hives, gonna be blushing. So he's at work. But yes, he's my biggest supporter. He's not home all the time. But yes, he's so excited for me and has been with me every step of the way.
I love that. And I also feel like I get a sense just from a lot of women that they always feel guilt and like, oh, I can't be with my kid right now because I have to do this, or I can't go here because I have to do this. How do you tackle those feelings, or do you even have like, how do you experience, like, what's your experience like?
Yeah, I mean, there's always a little bit of guilt, right? Mom guilt is real. Um, but I think just remembering that, that this is something that is needed. I'm providing a solution. I'm setting an example for my kids. Like, I'm not going to be at the office every day, every second of every day. And just make an effort to have that one-on-one time with my kids and do be present in the big things, and party at school or an event on the weekends, baseball game, dance recital, and just yeah, not beating yourself up.
Do you think that motherhood taught you anything about leadership, or do you think it was vice versa? Because it kind of happened for you at the same time.
Yeah, I think you probably nailed it, and that it's probably both, right? They probably helped each other. I feel like there is no one more efficient or productive than a working mom. So I think they definitely helped each other. Um, yeah, I feel like, did I answer that question? Right?
Yeah, no, you totally did. You totally did. And then what would you say? So I like to kind of try to give advice to women who are listening, who are either contemplating or feeling a little bit nervous about building a brand while being a mom. What would you say is the biggest misconception that people have about building a brand while being a mom?
Um, Maybe the need for perfection. I mean, you definitely have to let that go. I mean, if I waited for the perfect swaddle, that perfect iteration, I mean, probably still wouldn't be live today. I mean, you have to go through the motions, you have to go through the steps, test, learn, get feedback. Um, just remembering that progress takes time and that you need a foundation to start on.
So how long has Mama Coco been, how long has this brand been in business? How long have you been doing this?
So I started the company in 2019 and then launched in like spring, summer of 2020, I believe.
Wow, so during COVID, you figured this out. That's even a bigger thing. I mean, I don't even know how you got anybody to respond to you.
Yes, the launch strategy definitely changed. Not so much wholesale, DTC, and that was a blessing in disguise. So I'm
Yeah.
primarily still DTC. So,
What would you say that people assume about your life now that isn't really true?
oh my gosh, that I have it all together. That it's just a piece of cake.
Oh
Definitely
my God.
not. Learning as I go, taking it day by day.
What is a day like for you today? How would you, typical day?
Lots of emails, um, checking the roadmap, inventory, what's in the pipeline, new collections that are launching, um, checking sell-through rates, conversion rates, anything that needs to be improved on the website. I mean, oh my gosh, the list goes on.
Would you ever say that there is a point where you would ever say, all right, enough. I did it all. I did great. Or do you see a different type of, journey for you?
I don't know. There are days when it's harder than others, where I think, God, it would be great if some big brand, well-oiled machine could come along and just, take the IP and put it into their, brand and let it flourish. But then there are other days where I'm like, no, I want to just keep riding this roller coaster.
I feel like it just won't be you if it's not you. I went on your site, I look at your prints, I look at your everything. You can see it's very connected and it's all very intentional and it's just beautiful. So I definitely see you in that. So if your children listen to this episode today, what would you want them to take away from listening to you?
That they're my inspiration, and this brand and these essentials came about literally because of them, because they came into my life. So thank you. And I hope you are so proud of, the brand that I've created, and that it motivates you to do whatever you want and to dream big.
I'm sure that they will absolutely love you even more than they do for it. If you could talk to women out there who are trying to be more ambitious, what would you say to them about ambition while still wanting to be a mom and motherhood?
Um, that you're amazing and motherhood is a superpower. Just, stay true to yourself and value your perspective, your experience. Those instincts are real, and they'll guide you. So just embrace it.
Where can people find Mama Coco?
You can find us on social media at Buy Mama Coco. It's BUY Mama Coco, or at buymamacoco.com. Um, yeah, so come shop our elevated essentials.
Thank you so much. I've had such a great conversation with you. I learned so much and I really admire everything that you've done. And I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I so enjoyed being here. This was so great. Thanks for having me, and I feel the exact same.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I really was inspired by Megan. I hope everyone on this podcast who listened really did as well. I think her journey is just to be admired, and she is a woman who is conquering it all and kicking butt doing it. Join me next time where I bring on guests that will further inspire and share their journey with us. Thank you for tuning in to From the Goat Up. Please tune in to our bi-weekly episodes wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe, save, and share at Diona Skincare.